Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Shoot. I am Jesse Carter. Joined with me today, Terell Carter, WWE
No relation.
2K. Yeah, no relation. 2K designer for MyFaction. Terell, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, Jesse. How are you doing today?
Good, man. Good. I'm excited about this interview. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? How long have you been with the team and designing this game mode?
Right. So, like you said, my name is Terell Carter, product owner of MyFaction / lead designer. I've been on the product since WWE 2K19. So, almost a decade, close to a decade now, 7 years, but close to a decade. So, been on the team for a while. Bounced around quite a bit as far as different places on the project, but landed on MyFaction as my final resting place, so to speak.
Right on, man. What were you doing in 2K19?
So back then I worked on My Player at the time and
Oh,
worked
awesome.
on different features in My Player and Weekly Towers. So that's
Okay.
something I did.
All right, all right. Well, today we're going to be asking you a lot of questions about MyFaction, and this is kind of a collaboration between myself and a lot of other content creators and the community. So hope you're ready for it, man. And if anything that I'm asking you can't answer, no worries about it. Just go ahead and next question it.
No worries. No worries. Let's get into it.
This first one is from Rival. Everybody knows Rival,
Oh, yeah.
King MyFaction over here. Briefcases. What happened to them and why? Will we see briefcases back in a sort of way in WWE 2K25?
So briefcases. Well, they disappeared because, I mean, we were kind of trying to move away from some of the randomized rewards that we had into the game. We felt like we wanted to give players a more direct way to earn things. I know like sometimes the briefcase can be, exciting to kind of pull from and get some different rewards, but we reshaped Faction Wars to be a little bit more direct so players can know exactly what they're going to be earning and kind of work toward that and have a bit more of a permanent way to get those things. That's why you'll see like the weekly rewards for Faction Wars, they don't disappear. They stay there for the rest of the year. We just wanted something a little bit more direct for the players. We thought it would be better. So,
oh, cool. He also put in quotations, briefcase MFP value would go up over time as price pack does. It helped us keep up with the prices on packs.
so that's why he's asking about it because we did put a lot of currency into the briefcases, so that makes sense. We started flooding some of that into other areas of the game, but I can understand now why he asked about that specifically. So
yeah. Absolutely, man. So he also another question from him. We got a couple questions from Rival. He had good ones, but there were ones that I wanted to know as well. So he said we saw NBA 2K25 get the auction house back. Will we see an auction house in WWE 2K25 MyFaction, or can we expect the card market back?
I mean, anything can happen. I think card market is a good way for players to get the cards they want directly. It's been something that I've been seeing good feedback from the players for. So it's something we definitely want to keep around in the game to make sure players have that offer.
All right. How many chapters of Proving Grounds can we expect going forward in WWE 2K25? I think a lot of people are enjoying that the most.
That's good to hear. Proving Grounds is something we're going to expand this year up to 10. So you can expect 10 this year. Yeah.
Sweet.
So a little bit deeper than last year. So 10 you can expect.
Oh, that's good, man. We still got 2 more, man. That my faction points. They're tough to come by in this mode, Terell.
Well, yeah. So we saw players kind of outpacing the token market in the past, where it's like you just run out of stuff to do. So we wanted to have a little bit better pacing around them. I can understand missing some of those because we put a lot of them into live events. And so yeah, if you miss a week, then you probably miss a couple of tokens. So we're definitely reevaluating how we're kind of reallocating those things, kind of to Rival's point about the briefcase. We're always kind of reinvestigating how we're shifting some of these rewards around and making sure that players still have access to that stuff. So it's something we'll investigate.
Oh, good. So the pack odds this year is something that I couldn't tell you how many times I've raged to my co-host over here, James Kennard Jr. I said, dude, I never get the promotional cards as much as I want to because of the Superstar Series cards.
Yeah.
So with the pack odds, I found myself not being able to play events because I didn't have certain cards. Has there ever been thought of just requiring any gold, ruby, amethyst, etc., to play events rather than having a specific superstar card?
That's something we're always evaluating, right? We're taking a look at our play counts when it comes to this live events and what players have access to, and yeah, we're always taking a look at making sure that there's enough offerings out there so players have something to play. Like we never want to have a situation where players aren't able to play anything. So we're taking a look at it and seeing how we can update that for future live events to make it a little bit more accessible. So
Perfect. An example of the raging that happened today. James actually acquired the Bray Wyatt, which I haven't gotten to get. So he got to play the Bray Wyatt event that's up there. And I'm just, I guess, no luck on that one. But will there be a Superstar Series 3 this year? We didn't get one last year in 2K23. Where are the evolution cards as well? Do we have any more of them on the way?
that
That's
is a
from
good.
Rival.
That's from Rival too.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe Rival is asking about the Superstar Series 3. Um, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. No, Superstar Series is a pretty big series, and
Yeah.
like you mentioned, it has a lot of it is being used in the other series as well. So we don't think we'll repeat that for the rest of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So Superstar Series 2 will be the last of the Superstar series that you'll see for 2K24. But maybe if it's something that fans want, we'll take a look at it for future cycles.
Okay. This one also comes from Rival. I'll ask his final question over here. I think this is the final one from him. Can we expect rank play to get an adjustment this year? RP is not working properly and rewards are not possible unless a user is to win boost. Or is this just something we must wait until next year for?
Yeah, so we were really interested to see how rank play would go this year with the players. Like this is our first time doing like a true rank play for the product.
Okay.
So we're just taking a look at how players' experience is over the course of the year. We definitely heard you guys loud and clear as far as like the pains that you guys are having with 2K24. So it's something we're evaluating as far as how to fix that. It's not too much we can do right now for 2K24. It's not too much we can do at this point, but it's something we're looking forward to improving for future though. So
Sounds good, man. This next one comes from Steve OG. Says, what was the decision behind including oddities for personas?
So the oddities is another thing that sometimes us devs we have a vision of something and it doesn't quite work out exactly how we plan. That's another thing we're reevaluating. Basically, we wanted just a different option for players to get the personas, not to get them directly from packs all the time. Personas and oddities, we're looking to use oddities across the game so that players can obtain them there too. It's just something that we haven't really utilized much this year, but something we want to revisit as far as like how easy they are attained, how accessible they are. But it's just supposed to be a different route to getting personas other than just getting them directly from packs.
Okay. Do you know why the personas? Why don't the personas have like the accurate Trons music, etc.? Like the Sheamus '09 was a good example. We got everything with Sheamus '09, but some of them don't really come with that. Chad Gable is one that comes to mind for me.
It's something we're also looking to improve quite a bit. That one's a tough one. This is one of the things where players I know were missing that component for the alternate attires last year, where it's like, hey, we want these outside of MyFaction. We wanted to make sure that we can provide the same volume to the players at a higher quality, and we kind of hit that quality bar this year. We're looking to see if we can capitalize on that, for future installments. But that being said, when you're unlocking these outside of games, there's so much more to go with them when it comes to like the entrance, and like we still don't do entrances for MyFaction. So these are new areas that we're kind of exploring as far as the quality bar we're trying to reach for some of these, and we intend to push that as we go further. But it's definitely something that we're kind of hesitant on at first, just because we want to make sure we give players that quality every time we release a new persona. But I definitely understand that they don't feel quite complete, but we felt like players still wanted those personas, those different versions of superstars. So we kind of went forward with moving forward with those superstars for this year.
Is it a licensing issue too?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
music? Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that, because I know a lot of I say this all the time in my comment section. It's licensing. They can't get this because of licensing. Like, but I just wanted some clarification there. Like,
yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, so like with these personas, we have a different method than DLC when it comes to like the approach for them. And so if we wanted to capitalize on, like, I know one of the ones we were able to get in, which I was very happy to kind of catch as it came out, was the final boss, The Rock. Well, after we started production on The Rock, his music changed, and that is a very difficult situation. It's like, do we continue to release them, or do we go forward with what we have? And we felt like it was worth it to players to get that. I know it was really disappointing because the music was so awesome when it came out in his new Trons, and we were trying our best to get that solidified for players as it came out. But it's just it's a timing thing and the license thing. So that's one of the reasons why
WWE is probably really good about not letting you guys know what they're about to do.
So. We're in the dark as much as you guys. Like, everything's a surprise to us, and we kind of went there with you guys on it. So,
man, that Rock. I still can't get that Rock, bro.
Well, there'll be more opportunities. I guarantee you. Like, there will be so many more personas we have before the rest of the year, but also we're going to be bringing some back. So there definitely will be more opportunities to get those. So
perfect. This next one comes from a symbol. Why are this persona models all locked with no editing of the models?
See, that's another area that we need to explore when it comes to the quality bar, and making sure that they're set up in a way that allows you to do those things. So it's one of those things where it's something we're looking to improve over time, but we kind of have to take baby steps when it comes to the quality bar we're trying to reach for some of these models. I know that's not what players are going to want to hear, but it's definitely something that we want to make sure that if we're unlocking it, we're allowing you to edit it. Everything is like not breaking on you, and it is still high quality. So that's why.
That's a good answer, I feel like. Is there this next one's from Kenny Bomb? Is there a way that we can get blank cards that can be assigned to created wrestlers? MyFaction is pretty much the mode that keeps the game alive, so it would be nice to have a meaningful place to use for our cause.
That is a good suggestion. It's something we have talked about. Anything can happen. That's all I'm going to say on that. It's something we've talked about. We have talked about it, though. So
cool. Next one comes from Shy Guy over on Twitter. You can follow him there. When do the Diamond MyFaction Wars boss cards become available in the Faction Wars store?
Ooh, TBD on that. I can't really say just yet.
Okay,
can't really say.
Jess Bryan. This comes from Jess Bryan. Are we ever going to see a level 40 reward similar to the NBA 2K to keep player intrigued through dead seasons of the mode?
We're always reevaluating that experience for the players as far as those lulls and activity. It's something that I've discussed with the team quite a bit, is what can we do to cover those kind of dead spaces, so to speak, or what could feel like dead zones to the player. On that specific feature, is something we'll look into. But like I said, we're always looking at how we can improve the value of play throughout the whole year for the player, and kind of reduce some of these pockets of dry spell, so to speak.
Right. This next one comes from James over here at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Says, any plans for a WWE trade market in WWE or the next year's game? I guess we don't know if it's going to be called WWE 2K25. We just know that there's a game coming. Trade market. You guys ever thought about that?
So is that similar to Auction House? I'm not familiar.
Not sure. So the Auction House, I think you're just you're putting the cards up for auction and you can bid on them. But this one, I think he's more talking about players trading cards. Like if he has a card that I don't have for an event, can we pop in some sort of trade to where I can get the card, play the event?
That's a good suggestion. Definitely something that we'll look into. No guarantees, but something we'll look into.
The fire sale that we got for the Superstar Series 2 packs was widely accepted. Is there any chance of another one this year? That one I was really excited about because I got a few personas out of that, as well as a lot of cards that I was going to need for future events.
That is a good question. We're always testing different things to kind of see how players respond to it. Difficulty in live events or, certain sales being run. So if that's something that players are interested in, we'll definitely take a look at it and see if it's something we want to revisit.
Okay. And that fire sale that happened, that wasn't a mistake, right? I know a lot of people were like, oh, this is a mistake. And I was
no.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just for confirmation. So one more thing that I'd like to say before we start promoting some DLC over here. Persona cards, in my opinion, brought more people to this mode than previous years. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, 100%. And we were pretty certain that was going to be the case, just because, anytime you think about wrestling, there's always like this moments in time kind of view that players have, or I have specifically. I'm always looking at Undertaker from this era or from this era, and I want all of those in the game, and we think that MyFaction was the perfect place for that. And we're fans ourselves of the product, and we felt like it would be a huge hit for players to have access to that type of stuff through MyFaction, and have it be that gateway to these different expressions of different superstars. Because every time we release a game, right, it's like a snapshot of a version of a superstar. Between the time when the game releases and the players are playing it, there's all these other different versions that happen of these superstars that they don't get to see, because when the next cycle comes out, there's a whole new snapshot. So MyFaction is the way to bridge the gap there. So yes.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So the oddity odds, like I said before, are pretty much, man, they're brutal. I'm gonna be honest, they're brutal. They're impossible unless you're spending, real money or VC, because the grind to get MFP is pretty hard as well. So can we expect a change later this year or in possibly next year when it comes to obtaining these persona cards? I'd prefer to have the option of grinding or just purchasing it right off the card market.
Yeah. Like I said at the top of the interview, this is definitely something that we're also disappointed about, as far as like how they're kind of turning out. We definitely hear the players on their experience with them and the excitement around them, because it seemed like players were really engaged with what they were proposed to be. So we're definitely looking on to improving that for next year for sure, and looking to see if there's anything we do for this year when it comes to improving like how those feel and how players are able to obtain them. So stay tuned for that. We're definitely working on that.
Right on, man. We got some DLC coming out. It's probably the most anticipated DLC pack, I would say, of the year.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
The Future Stars pack. You got some persona, or not persona cards, but you got some cards to go along with it. I'm assuming we're getting diamond cards, correct?
That's a good. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
They're going to be all diamond. Yep.
Okay. And then the final pack, I'm assuming pink diamond, or maybe we get spoiled with Galaxy Opal. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Give me some Galaxy cards.
Can't say too soon on the DLC 5, but yes, for DLC 4, definitely diamond. Yeah, in that pack is so that DLC, the Global Superstars pack that's dropping on September 18th. It's going to have Nia Jax, Jade Cargill, Michelle McCool, Carlito, Lara Valkyria, Kairi Sane, and Dragon Lee. And then also, like you said, the MyFaction cards that are going to be all diamond. And then, of course, there's going to be a foreign object for the apple. I mean, it's Carlito. You got to add apple to the game. So
the apple.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Is there any hints that you can give me for any of these persona cards that are coming throughout the year, man? We've heard rumors all over Twitter. Don't know if they're accurate, but if you thing on the show right now, is there anything that you could tell us about these persona cards coming?
I can only tell you they're going to be really exciting. And I've seen those lists. I've seen the wish list. By the way, that's one of so fun to kind of look at everyone's wish list across X and across YouTube when it comes to what they think we're going to do and the lists that are floating out there. Some of them align with what you can expect. Some definitely don't. So the only hint I would give you is that some of the lists have some accurate things on them. Some of them don't. So it's a mix. Which ones you'll get, you'll have to wait and see, but it's going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait to see players' response to what we have released, because I think they know like in the vein of what we're doing, but they don't really know exactly what we're doing. So
right, man, just give me CM Punk, dude. Dude, give me that CM Punk. If I can get This Fire Burns, I know we were just talking about the licensing earlier, but man, if we could get it, Kill Switch Engage, please make this happen. I would love it, man.
Well, I definitely will say, like I said, with the personas, we're always kind of looking to the fans as far as their reception to the personas we're doing. We're always looking at those wish lists, and it puts different things on our mind as far as what to approach. So definitely keep those wish lists coming, because you might see something that you asked for. So
awesome, man. Awesome. Is it safe to say that personas are here to stay for MyFaction going forward?
100%. Yes.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, Terell, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate
Jesse, I appreciate it.
Hopefully we can do this again, maybe later on this year or for the next game.
I would love to. Thank you.
All right, man. Take it easy, guys.